And, you know, the concept of the village, it hasn't completely dissipated. And for many reasons, it has fallen apart around the world. I mean, urbanization around the world is fast increasing, right? The same maybe 20 years, 75% of the global population will live in urban centers.
Okay.
And so that means a dissolution of the idea of the village. But it also means that the village can be reconfigured for modern times.
How do we reconfigure the village for modern times?
Right. And so kids have found a certain village online. And I'm not all about always decrying social media. I'm like, okay, how can we put safeguards in place to protect our children from predators online? But how we can also, as parents and advocates and activists, learn to embrace technology and social media, because when we really decry it, we widen the chasm between ourselves and our children.
Right.
And they will not talk to us.
Right.
And
so
they will
there's a
rely
place
more,
for social media as the village. And as you say
as
that...
a part of the village.
As part of the village. As you say that, I mean, I don't think you guys will be on. And you guys maybe have your own group that you go on to, but I'm sure Paula is on Trini Moms. You know, and Trini Moms has more than like 9,500 members. And I've said that. I've said, you know, the things that are posted there and the questions that are posted there, people are obviously looking for support. You know, they're asking really, really basic questions because the physical village isn't there. And it's a phenomenal group because people are able to get support. I see sometimes mothers are posting, you know, they had a bad day, and people are chiming in. Hey, that happened with me this week when I was like, I can't do this. I can't watch my dad's toe get cut off, you know, and like, you know, it was like my own little diary, and I was typing, and there people were chiming in, picking up the phone, calling. And so you're right, you know, I mean, it has become sort of like a new village.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, also because because both parents are now working, and because folks are moving out from the homes in which they grew up, that's also leading to a dissolution of the village. Okay. But I think what's happening is that folks are getting so concerned with crime in Trinidad that they say, no, let me mind my business. And so you're no longer feeling at ease to pull up a little child. The child, hey, what are you doing? I know your mother, look. You know, and...
Christoph, if a child is rude to you, you're gonna like pull them up in front of you?
Oh, most definitely.
Yes?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, it happened. Yes. I mean, it happened when I was young. I mean, the neighbor next door. If I did something wrong, which I did a lot of times, yeah, they would. By the time I reached back home, the news had already reached my mom, and I was going to get a cut ass. I mean, sorry, I can say that online.
I don't think so.
Cut skin, you know. So I mean, it's very important. But I wanted to chime in on what the doc was saying there about this new social media village. But that comes with a lot of responsibility too, as well.
It does.
And
it does.
Just as another duty, you just add it as another duty of a parent to be responsible. You have to be like a hawk, watching exactly the movements of your child online. And I mean, long time my mom used to say, I want to know your friends. I want to get to know their parents. And now we need to know who are their friends on Facebook, yes, on Twitter, on all these different social media networks.
But Christoph, I'm going to interject there for 2 seconds, because when we were playing as children, we knew our boundaries. Our parents didn't
speak for yourself, but yeah.
I knew my boundary. But we generally knew which house we can go to.
Yes.
You know, you kind of knew which houses formed the boundary. So we were never home. But our parents didn't need to jump over the wall with us and walk with us to the boundary. Something happened where conversation happened and trust happened. And we then felt, you know what, these are the boundaries. Because if you pass that house, no, you're going to have some consequences, some dread ones too. And so, in conversation with our children, can't we create those same boundaries? I mean, my child certainly knows which shows she's allowed to watch and which ones you're not. And if you're by a friend and it's something that you're not allowed to watch, just quietly excuse yourself and go and play with Lego blocks.
Right. But I mean, the consequences of yesterday are far, I mean, because the consequences today are far more greater than the consequences of yesterday. I mean, when we establish these boundaries.
Hold up. If you went by somebody's house and fall along and the drain or get bounced down, how is that any lesser than today?
Well,
because when you think about it, we were allowed to roam Trinidad with no kind of supervision.
Correct.
And we never get bounced down.
Correct. But
we never get robbed. We never get shot. We never get picked up by human trafficking.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that the consequences of today are a lot
But we're
greater
not going
than yesterday.
outside. I'm suggesting that can't we create boundaries in the IT world? The same way we respected our boundaries, we could go on Roam, but we know where to stop.
Yeah, but I'm just
So
saying,
go on
I
Roam
mean,
on the internet,
we
you
can,
you
but
need to know where to stop.
we can, but we have to be responsible in teaching them exactly what these boundaries are.
Right.
In the first instance, you know, because if they don't know about what these
Christoph,
boundaries
did you know
are.
our set was purple today? Did y'all notice he's matching? All right, keep going, keep talking, keep
I
talking.
mean, like I said before, I mean, once we establish these boundaries, I teach Isabella as much as I can about certain boundaries. Like, for example, which is another funny story, I'm going to say.
Let's hear it.
I mean, she was watching, she was allowed to watch videos. She knows what videos are appropriate and inappropriate. It's a word, one of her first words actually was inappropriate, right? So, I mean, from both sides, both the mom and I talked about exactly what was inappropriate and what was appropriate. Now, I'm there in the shower, hearing normal kid music videos, whatever it is. And then I'm already soaped up, and then I hear, turn up, turn it up, turn up. And I was like, wait, that's Rihanna's song. And I had to like run out of the bathroom with the towel on. It's wooden floor, slipping and sliding, rolling, and reached by the television. And she was like, I said, Daddy, I just switched it off because I know it was inappropriate. I was like, thank you. And she's like, was all that necessary?
All that was not necessary. Trust your child. She knows what's inappropriate.
But like I said before, it's a learning experience. So I'm glad that I instill in her that kind of knowledge about she's able now to think for herself what is appropriate and what's not inappropriate.
Yeah, so
and
she
these
knows
are
what her
the
boundaries
established
are.
boundaries that we should work on.
And how old is your daughter? Because I want Trinidad to understand from the age at which we can start to have those conversations. Because your daughter's pretty young.
Yeah, she's 6.
And that story happened
And that story
when?
happened when she was like 4.
Exactly. So we can teach our children these boundaries from a very young age. Would you suggest that? Seeing that he's the authority now.
We're all authorities, because I do believe there's wisdom in everybody's experiences, right? But I do believe that we should start as early as possible investing trust in our kids and having open conversations. I think when I was growing up, I think there wasn't sufficient trust given to children. It was this heavily demarcated world between adults and children. And I think it's useful for parents to, yes, still be authority figures in their kids' lives, but also grant kids some trust and to have open conversations with them, because that's the only way they will know how to trust and build strong, healthy relationships with others, when they can see it with their parents and
Right.
able to model it. Anybody else want to join in?
NASA, bring some wisdom.